Thank you for joining us for College Commons Week as we explore the next steps in the college admissions process. My name is Janine Coutu and I'm with the College Foundation of West Virginia. We are extremely excited to host our second annual College Commons Week event, an opportunity that allows us to work together with college campuses to help students navigate the college-going process. This evening, we are pleased to announce that a representative from Fairmont State University has joined us for this webinar series. Joining us from Fairmont State is Admissions Counselor Kayla Asbury. Thank you for joining CFWV for this new statewide initiative. Through this initiative, we aim to help West Virginia students and families prepare for and transition to college. As I get ready to turn this presentation over to our presenter, I would ask that you use the chat box to ask any questions you have throughout our time together this evening. Staff will address those questions and ensure that they are answered before we conclude today's webinar. This webinar is being recorded and will be made available on cfwv.com later this week. With that being said, Kayla, welcome, and now I turn this webinar over to you.
Thank you so much, Janine. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kayla Asbury. I'm an admissions counselor at Fairmont State, and I'm kind of here to be your guide through the application, admissions, and now the enrollment process. So I will go ahead and get started, and I'm going to start with an overview of our campus, and then I'll get on to an admitted students checklist. So Fairmont State was founded in 1865, so we're 156 years old this year. Fairmont State is the oldest public institution in the state of West Virginia, and our student enrollment is just under 4,000 with a student to faculty ratio of 15:1, and an average class size is right around 22 students. And as you can see on the map here, our location is right around North Central West Virginia. Fairmont State sits on a charming hilltop campus in Fairmont, West Virginia. And because we're surrounded by nature, our campus community has great access to outdoor adventures like camping, biking, hiking, and rafting, all within an hour or two drive. Our campus community regularly travels to major cities like Pittsburgh, Columbus, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. for access to world-class dining, arts, and sports. Fairmont State sits on a 120-acre tree-filled campus, and we have a wide range of living options on campus from single suites to quads. And when you live on campus, all residents get fully furnished rooms, air conditioning and heat, wireless internet, and high-speed Ethernet at no additional cost, and laundry services at no additional cost. There's plenty of parking available on campus, and the hub of activity on campus is our Falcon Center that's pictured in this slide. Fairmont State does have a 2-year residency requirement, so when you live on campus, you will need to live on campus for your first 2 years. But that's okay because we have 4 living learning communities to join. At Fairmont State, a living learning community is a group of students with a common interest or major that live on the same floor. So living can definitely be a community experience at Fairmont State. Our housing application generally opens in November, and then I've included our housing office and residence life contact information there. Our housing application, you can also do an exemption process. Since Fairmont State does have the 2-year residency requirement, there are certain criteria that you can meet to live off campus those first 2 years. You can check out a full list on our website. But the process is very similar to our housing application process. We have lots of meal plans and dining options on campus based on your needs. Our dining hall serves a really delicious variety of food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But if you're in the mood for something special, we do have restaurants on campus. We have over 50 undergraduate degree programs and over 100 programs of study. And we offer several programs you can't find anywhere else, like our community health program, architecture, our flight school, and national security and intelligence. And because of our size, students at Fairmont State get real-world hands-on experience sooner than you might at larger schools. If you're not sure what to major in, we have an academic pathways program that allows students to explore an area of interest while also helping them stay on track to graduate on time and save tuition dollars. And those academic pathways students get to work on one-on-one with advisors from our advisor center to choose a major in a career that works for them. But no matter your major, there's no excuse not to be successful at Fairmont State. Our tutoring and testing center services are free for students. So now I'll talk a little bit about campus life. Participating in a club or organization is a great way to explore fields you love, as well as help you build friendships that might last a lifetime. Fairmont State has over 60 clubs and organizations that you can join, so you're sure to find one that you're interested in, whether you're into art, politics, sports, outdoor adventure, or a club related to your major. Fairmont State also has a vibrant and active Greek life community with 3 fraternities and 3 sororities. We offer a dozen of intramural activities and club sports, as well as 17 sports combined for men and women. Our Falcons participate in the NCAA Division II Mountain East Conference. So now I will touch a little bit on cost. So Fairmont State not only has one of the lowest tuition rates in the state, but because we have such stellar outcomes, our value is also unmatched. We offer one of the lowest tuitions in the state and region, plenty of financial aid, and academic programs that are structured to help you graduate on time, and unique academic programs you won't find anywhere else. So now I will go over our main scholarship for our West Virginia students, and that is our Opportunity Scholarship. As you can see here, our yearly tuition estimated at $16,522, but with the scholarship based on your GPA and SAT, ACT scores, you can get up to $2,500 per year to help with your tuition costs. Here is the contact information for our financial aid services. They are super helpful and they're able to help you with questions and understand your financial aid options a little bit better. If you like what you are seeing and hearing, applying to Fairmont State is fast and easy. And as you know, to be admitted, you need at least a 2.0, official college transcripts if you earn college credit, as well as your immunization records. We don't charge an application fee. It's free to apply. We typically require an 18 SAT or a 950 SAT score as well, but since COVID happened, we have waived that requirement for fall 2021. So now I will move on to our admitted students checklist. So the first task is to finalize your admission, and the way you can do that is accept your offer of admission. If you haven't, you can visit your application portal and accept your offer of admission. Accepting your admission is non-binding. It just lets us know that you're still interested and you're taking the next step. The next thing you need to do is set up your university credentials, your username and password. And you can do that by visiting, apply.fairmontstate.edu and following the instructions on your application page. And make sure to remember your username and password. You will need those for all your student access at Fairmont State. And then the next step, which is happening now, is you will need to complete your new student orientation. Our orientation course is available on Blackboard, and you need to finish the course to unlock your advising meeting. So your advising meeting will be when you schedule your classes and meet with your advisor to talk about your goals while at Fairmont State, while also selecting those classes for the first semester. So new student orientation is a super important step. So our next list are your new student tasks. And so these are things that you can do to get a little bit more familiar with the way things work. So the first thing we recommend is visiting your My Fairmont State and familiarizing yourself with the dashboard. And that website is my.fairmontstate.edu. And it's where you will log in to access all the tools on your student account. And that includes Blackboard, which is Fairmont State's course management system. Oh, I'm so sorry. So Blackboard is where your online classes will live and be delivered. And it's also used to host activities and return materials to your face-to-face classes. Then there's Felix, and Felix is your student account. So Felix is where your financial aid information will be, payment information, course registration, final grades, and more are all hosted in Felix. So Felix is a super important thing to be familiar with. DegreeWorks. So DegreeWorks is an advising tool that helps you visualize what courses you need to graduate, along with what-if scenarios if you're considering a major change. So DegreeWorks is a great way to see how many credit hours you have left or what classes you need to graduate. And then Webmail, which is just your student email, and it's great to access your Outlook email and your Microsoft Student account. So the next step will be to access your student email and Microsoft account. We kind of touched on that a little bit, but from your My Fairmont State dashboard, you're going to select Webmail in the initial menu, and then visit our IT site to help you with logging in if you have any trouble. Remember that your student email begins with your username. For example, jdoe5@students.fairmontstate.edu. The next step we have here is to register for your parking pass. There's no additional charge to park on campus, and you will just follow the instructions on our campus police website. And there are more in-depth instructions to get your parking pass in our orientation module. Next, we have that you will need to submit a photo online for your student ID, or visit the first floor of our Falcon Center to have your photo ID taken, and make sure to have a form of identification if you go that way. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about some financial aid tasks that you need to have completed before coming to campus. So the first is to apply for financial aid at fafsa.gov. And while we recommend applying as soon as possible, it isn't too late to apply for financial aid. So if you haven't, I definitely recommend that you do it as soon as you can. And you're not required to accept aid that you are awarded. It's better to apply and consider your options. So be sure, be sure to visit our financial aid page for assistance and information. So that's the financial aid page on our website. There's lots of guides and some great definitions of different types of loans, different types of scholarships, different types of grants. So if you are confused, our financial aid page on our website is a great place to start. So the next step is to submit any outstanding financial aid requirements. And so that is going to be at Felix under financial aid and then financial aid status. So both of those next two steps, review and accept your financial aid award and then submit any outstanding financial aid requirements. Those are both going to be found under your Felix tab. So the next step is going to be check and pay your balance in Felix by the first day of class, or enroll in a payment plan. And so this is completely up to you, but you do need to do either one before the beginning of class. So before the first day of class, you must have either paid your balance or enrolled in an installment plan. By failing to do so, additional charges may be incurred. So that's a super important step to do before classes start. The next checklist reminder is to contact our Veteran Services Office regarding any VA benefits. So that doesn't apply to everyone, but if you are a veteran, our Veteran Service Office can assist with certification, exploring your eligibility, and more. So they are always happy to help. So next, I'm going to go over some academic tasks. So first, you will need to submit your official transcripts. So if you applied to Fairmont State while you were still in high school, once you graduate, you will need to submit your final transcript to us. And I included the information that you could send them to, either our mailing address or our email. Then the next step is if you took some AP tests during your last semester of high school, you will need to, submit those scores. So our website has a chart with all of the AP test scores that we accept, and be sure to submit those scores so you can get credit for those classes you took. And then the next step is to find and order course and textbook materials. So make sure to visit the Bound for Success bookstore website once you have your class schedule to learn what materials are required. If no textbook is listed for a course, be sure to check back later or closer to the start of the semester, as the professor might not have posted it yet. You can always also reach out to your professors individually and ask about what materials are required. Okay, so next is review your review your class schedule to know where and when your classes are. And you can view that concise class schedule in Felix after you register for courses and view your time of day, day of the week, and your class location. So that concise student schedule is going to be really helpful. So make sure to check the Blackboard orientation page for registration to learn more about what to look for in course registration. Oh, sorry. But that orientation module is going to have more information on how to register for classes and how to find course information. And then the next academic checklist thing that you might need to tick off is if you may require accommodations such as extended testing time, visual aids, anything like that, either now or in the future, be sure to schedule a meeting with our Accessibility Services office. They are super helpful and they will get you set up. So now I will go over some health and well-being checklist items that you might need to consider before coming to campus. So first, make sure to review our response to COVID and guidelines for students, faculty, and staff. Stay informed with news and updates at fairmontstate.edu/coronavirus. We like to update that page pretty frequently anytime any protocol on campus changes. And next is learn about our on-campus student health services. So one of my favorite features of campus is our student health office. It operates a lot like a urgent care, and it covers a lot of non-emergency medical needs, including women's health, allergy injections. If you are feeling a little under the weather, you don't even have to leave campus. You can just go up to student health. So I think that is a really great resource for students. Another thing to consider is to plan your fitness routines. All of our students have free access to our Falcon Center, which has a pool, fitness classes, a weight room, free weight machines, basically anything that you would like to stay fit. Our Falcon Center has it. So it's definitely something that you should take advantage of as a student. And it also, exercising helps with stress and also helps just get adjusted to college. So it is a great option to plan your fitness routine. Okay, so now for my last slide is students will need to prepare for class and for move-in. So the next step is to, once you move to campus, get your device connected to our Wi-Fi, and you can visit our Tech Commons website, FAQs, for information on accessing our campus network. Our devices must be specifically configured to access student wireless network. So it can be a little tricky to get connected at first, but our IT department, our Tech Commons, is there to help. So a next step that you need to make sure to be taking care of now is completing your housing application if you haven't already, in meal plan selection at your My Fairmont State. You can select the housing icon from your student dashboard to apply and select a meal plan. You can also access our roommate finder tools from the housing application. So if you haven't already done that, be sure to fill out the housing applications as soon as you can. The next step is to read our move-in guide and learn what to expect, what to bring, and what to leave at home. And if you're not sure what to pack or to consider packing, you can visit our Residence Life website for a checklist on what to bring to campus. And move-in is scheduled for early August, so watch your mail and email for detailed instructions on scheduling your move-in. So if you do think of any questions after viewing this presentation, we would love to connect with you. You can see our recruitment office email and phone number listed there. And we also have a live chat feature on our website from 8 to 4 every day. And you can find that at that web address right there, fairmontstate.edu. You can also connect with us on social media, and we're at Fairmont State. But we look forward to welcoming you home to Fairmont State and showing you why Fairmont State is your next step toward your life and career goals. So please let me know if you have any questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kayla. I'm not seeing any questions in the chat, but I do have a few questions offhand that students have been asking throughout the day today.
Sure.
One of the first ones that comes to mind is, I know you said that you have a 2-year residence hall requirement. What about commuter students? Is that an option? What does that look like?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
So what if a student lives close enough to campus where they is commuting to campus an option? That's the better way to phrase it.
Yes. So students that live within a 50-mile radius of campus are able to commute, and that for those students, they'll just need to fill out our exemption application.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Also, I've received a few questions regarding financial aid. Can your financial aid be used for textbooks on campus?
That is something that students will have to reach out to our financial aid office to
Okay,
that one.
no worries. And then you mentioned that for students, they must complete orientation to be able to receive their schedule and advising appointment. Are students able to adjust their schedule once they create that initial schedule, and how do they go about adding or dropping classes?
Yes, so once students meet with their advisors and plan out an ideal schedule for themselves, their advisor will give them an advising pin, which is just a certain number that students can use to schedule those classes. And if a student wants to change their mind or wants to change the time of a class, they are completely able to do so. They'll just have to get with their advisor to get a new pin to change those classes around.
Great. And then another one is, are there campus-wide alert systems available at your institution?
Yes, so when students get on campus, or maybe even a little before, they will fill out a form to sign up for our alert system, which will text you if there is an emergency, and also email.
Wonderful. And then I think I want to end with what resources are available to help first-year students transition to college?
That is a great question. So I would like to point out our advising center. So if you are feeling a little bit lost as far as majors go, as far as a career goes, they're really great. They work with the personality test and really work with our students closely to make sure that they're happy in their major and their future career. Another thing I would say is our counseling services. So they are walk-in available and also on an appointment basis. So if students are feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the transition to college, our counseling services are really awesome in Fairmont State.
Great. Thank you so much. Is there anything you would like to add before we close today?
I don't think so, but thanks so much for having me today.
Of course. Well, we wanted to take the time to thank Fairmont State for joining the College Foundation of West Virginia during College Commons Week. Please be sure to reach out to Kayla with any questions you may have. And thank you to those who have joined or who have participated in this webinar series. If we could be of any further assistance, please reach out to us at cfwv.com. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.